think that most of the barter and trade items that people talk about are usually kind of stupid. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Titan Preparedness, welcome back to the channel, and thank you again for joining me. Barter and trade, right? It's a big topic. It's a big ticket item when we talk about SHTF, when we talk about prepping, right? And a lot of the ideas, a lot of the things that get tossed around as being the top barter and trade items, me personally, I kind of find them dumb. I kind of find them really stupid. I find that they are either going to get you in trouble, going to get you hurt, or going to get you killed. So today's video, we're going to go through a couple of them, just off the top of my head, and think, should you go this route? Or maybe think of something different. So let's start off with number one, which is food. Food is the top barter and trade item in 99% of the list. In my personal opinion, I think it's a terrible idea. I understand the reasoning behind it. I understand why you would have to trade for food or trade your food for something else, right? I get it, right? 9 meals away from anarchy. Most people don't have enough food in their house to survive a 3-day outage. Most people can't cook unless there's electricity, right? Most people are not ready for anything to happen, let alone the world ending, apocalyptic, right? So having excess food in your house means that you can get further down the line. I've done videos on this, on why I think it's a terrible barter and trade item. Let me rehash some of those. If you have 6 months worth of food in your house, you're a prepper, maybe you're new to prepping, you only have 6 months worth of food, that is 6 months until you run out. If you start trading that food off, that number starts going down. Maybe it ticks down by the day, maybe it ticks down by the hour, maybe it ticks down by the meal, but it's going down. You are inevitably going to run out of food. Whether you have 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years worth of food, you're going to run out eventually. And the whole idea of stocking up food is to not run out, right? Or delay the inevitable. If you start trading that stuff off, you are just ticking down the minutes. You're ticking down the days. And it's also letting other people know, hey, this guy has food, not just enough food for him and his family, but enough food for him and his family to trade it off. It makes you a target. Barter and trade in general makes you a target. And I understand that most people aren't going to be able to stock them on everything they need. There's things that I'm going to personally forget. But giving away food, not knowing how long the disaster is going to last, is setting yourself up for failure. Kind of because of where I live, water seems like a terrible idea. Why would I come to you from water when I can throw a rock and basically hit a water source? I can walk a mile in any direction and find a water source. It's kind of hard to sell seashells by the seashore, yeah? So it's kind of hard to sell water if you live beside a lake. And how are you going to sell it, right? Are you just going to fill up your little 20-ounce bottle and sell it by the 20-ounce bottle? Or are you going to try to sell it by the gallon? Well, how many gallons can you carry into town? Oh, maybe 2 5-gallon buckets, 10 gallons at a time. If it's lake water, if it's creek water, it's going to be dirty, it's going to be nasty. So, are you going to filter it? Filtered water, kind of understand, right? Maybe you went ahead and boiled it, maybe you went ahead and purified it. Are you going to charge people by the 20-ounce bottles? You're going to charge them by the 2-liter. How are we going to work this? Are you going to fill up a 55-gallon drum full of dirty lake water and roll it into town? People need water to survive. Totally understand that. And if you live in Arizona, California, someplace that doesn't have a lot of water, and you have a creek, river, stream on your property, okay, cool. But those people are going to come by daily, right, to get the water from you. And again, what are you going to charge them? Are you going to charge them by the 20-ounce Dasani bottle, like we're a convenience store? Or are you going to say, hey man, 5-10 gallons at a time? What happens when your water runs out? If you're trading the filtration purification method, I get it, right? I understand that one. That makes sense. You say, hey man, I saw you just got that water out of the lake. How about you run it through my water filter? I only charge you a couple grains of rice, a couple cups of rice. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. You pour it through, it comes out crystal clear. You pass it back to him and says, here, you got the gallon out of the lake. I filtered your gallon. Now I'm undeserving of your rice. Makes sense. But again, how are you going to transport water if you plan on trading water? The next one is smokes and booze. This one is always a fun one, right? Alcohol and tobacco. People say, oh, you need to stock up on mini bottles. You need to stock up on smokes. You need to stock up on tobacco, pipe tobacco, rolling papers, Everclear, all this other stuff in hopes of trade, in hopes that SHTF hits. Everyone knows what an alcoholic would do for his next drink. Everyone knows that the smoker isn't going to want to give up smoking, so he'll trade everything for his next smoke. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I've seen what meth heads do for their next high. Right? I've seen what drug users do for that little, just to get $5 to get a crack rock, to get $10 to get their little meth. And I'm not putting alcoholics and smokers on the same level as meth heads, but someone with an addiction, if they find a source, they're going to go back to that source until they can't afford it. And when they can't afford it, they're going to do dumb things to be able to afford it. And if you have a ton of alcohol, right, and you're the guy known in town for trading it, when the booze bottle runs dry, people are going to come to you and burn your house down. I've watched so many people in the little prepping chats that I'm in talk about barter trade, talk about stocking up things that they don't use, such as smokes, such as booze. Hey man, what's a good booze to smoke, to stock up on? Well, do you drink it? Well, no. Then don't stock up on it. Well, what's a good cigarette I need to stock up on in case SHTF happens? You smoke? Well, no. Then why are you going to spend $50 to $100 on a carton of cigarettes if you don't smoke? For the sole purpose if SHTF happens, you'll be a little bit rich. Let's talk about hygiene products in general. All right, feminine hygiene, toilet paper, baby wipes. If your whole purpose of stocking up on something is for barter and trade, don't stock up on a lot of perishable items. Tampons, pads, those are perishable, right? Use them once, then you throw them away. Toilet paper, you use it once, you throw it away. Have some, right? Maybe a couple packs of toilet paper, but we don't need to stack toilet paper like it's 2020. Instead, what me personally I would do is, if that's something that I want to stock up on, I would stock up on the reusable versions. Okay? So for females, they make cups that are reusable. I know some people like them, some people don't like them. I don't talk to a lot of women about that, but lots of Amazon reviews tells you, hey, $10-12, you're good to go. Instead of having things that you don't use stacked up to the ceiling, have a couple reusable kind. Same thing with toilet paper, right? You can get a bidet for like $15 on Amazon. If that's something you're wanting to stock up on, have 5, 10 of them, whatever. Then that way when the toilet paper does run out, because you're using it or because you've traded it off, right now you have a backup option. The good thing about these is once you get that reusable version and you use it, whatever your stockpile is no longer necessary. So let's say you did have 100 rolls of toilet paper, you used the first one, now you've got 99, but instead you start using the bidet. Little portable $15 bidet. Well hell, now you got 99 rolls of toilet paper that you can trade off. Batteries are a finite resource. Batteries are a one-time use, honestly. Yes, you can use them multiple times, potentially, depending on what the thing is. But really, once you put it in the device, it's kind of like a one-time use. Because depending on how much charge it takes from that battery, it's thrown away afterwards, right? To stock up on batteries for barter and trade is a short-term solution. Yes, you can have 100 batteries. You can go trade them off for people that need them for the flashlights and the headlamps and the phones and the whatever, right? But once they're dead, they're done. But the rechargeable batteries, well, now you can multiple, right? You can trade them out multiple times. Hey, these are rechargeable. When they go dead, bring them back to me, right? And you can use them, treat them as like a pawn, as a loan for somebody, right? So let's say you trade someone a flashlight and it's got rechargeable batteries in it. The trade is the flashlight. Well, now you take something as theirs as a loan for the batteries. They bring the batteries back, you give them back their can of soup. They don't bring the batteries back, well, now you have a can of soup or stew or whatever, right? Rechargeable batteries, if you're going to stock up on batteries, stock up on rechargeable ones. Well, how am I going to recharge the rechargeable batteries? Portable power stations? The USB cell phone rechargers, right? The solar ones. Recharge that, and Goal Zero makes something that holds 4 AA's or 4 AAA's that recharges via USB-C or USB-A that you can plug into it. There's so many ways to recharge batteries nowadays, that's not even funny. In front of me I got like 5 different little solar panels. I got more solar panels over here. All I gotta do is plug one of those up to that Goal Zero device. Now I'm recharging batteries. Precious metals. Precious metals are often talked about during barter and trade. Precious metals only hold value if that person can get outside of the community that is affected. Venezuela, right now, precious metals are an amazing barter and trade item. People are getting their haircuts by cutting pieces of gold and silver. However, the barbershop owner needs to have family that is outside of Venezuela for him to send that stuff to, so they can then send back US dollars. Because if not, then he's got this pile of silver and gold that's absolutely worthless in Venezuela. Because their money is so worthless because of their hyperinflation event, you would have to trade a wheelbarrow full of their pesos or whatever they have for like 1/4 of an ounce of silver. It's just not right. The money that is there is so worthless, and then you're trading something that is worth $20 US or $36 US right now for a single ounce of silver, and it already takes like 800, maybe even 8,000 of their currency to make $1 US. So you need a wheelbarrow full of their currency to get a silver bar. There's no value in it, right? If I'm the guy trying to get the silver, there's no value for me to trade in all of my money to have a piece of silver. Bullets and firearms are always an interesting one. Of course, they hold value because of the self-defense, because of the hunting, because of, the marauding aspect. Do I have firearms that I would trade off? Yeah, I've got some. They're not great. They're not good. They're grandpa's old shotguns. They hold value to me, and they would hold value to anyone who has nothing. But would I trade off my good weapons? No. Why? Because I need them. My people need them. My family needs them. For me to give you something that could then turn around and be used against me is really kind of dumb. And then the ammo tells me you're out of ammo. If you come to me and you say, hey man, I need some 22 ammo, my family hasn't eaten in a week, I too am also out hunting for the small game that you are also out hunting for. So if I know you haven't been out hunting, that puts me as the prime player. That's one less person in the woods that's taking the game that I'm hunting. AR, AK rounds, right? Big popular. I give you a magazine, that magazine might be fed back to me in a different way. I don't want that. Now, is ammo valuable? Absolutely. The person who holds the most, right? Has the most power. Do I want to give away that power? Probably not, because I don't know what you're going to do with it. Unfortunately, barter and trade has become this big ticket topic, and people just keep recycling the same old stuff, and eventually you got to say, hey, look, I think some of these ideas are terrible. So let me know what your thoughts on barter and trade is. Is it something that you're going to do all the time, like you were stocking up stuff in hopes of barter and trade, or is it one of those like, I'll do it if it's necessary? Let me know down below. That's all I got. And any more bad barter and trade items like matches and big lighters, let me know down below. That's all I got. Hope y'all have a good day. T2 out.